China closes one strait. 25% of global trade stops. 3 economies collapse within weeks. People's Liberation Army Navy announces military exercise zone across Malacca Strait. Duration indefinite. Civilian shipping suspended. Singapore port faces shutdown. Japan loses energy lifeline. South Korea manufacturing halts. Taiwan isolated. This is not Red Sea. This is choke point warfare gone global. This is Red Sea Doctrine, where sea power decides everything. June 7th, 0800 Beijing time. People's Liberation Army announces major naval exercise. Area declared Malacca Strait and approaches. Zone extends from Andaman Sea to Singapore Strait. Width, entire passage. Length, 500 nautical miles. All civilian traffic prohibited during exercise period. Start time, immediate. End time, to be determined. International aviation authorities receive notices. Maritime safety broadcasts activated. Insurance companies freeze policies. Global shipping stops processing Malacca transits. Within minutes, commodity markets react. Oil futures spike 12%. Natural gas prices jump 15%. Container shipping rates double. Asian stock exchanges plummet. Tokyo down 8%. Seoul down 11%. Singapore exchange suspends trading. This is economic warfare without firing shot. One announcement, one strait. 25% of global maritime trade paralyzed. Context matters. Taiwan tensions reached critical level. Beijing threatened reunification by force. U.S. 7th Fleet positioned near Taiwan Strait. Japan declared support for Taiwan defense. Mutual defense treaties activated. Australia committed forces. Philippines granted base access. Regional coalition formed against Chinese pressure. Now Beijing responds. Not in Taiwan Strait, in Malacca, because Malacca controls everything. 80,000 vessels transit annually. 1/4 of world's traded goods. 80% of China's energy imports. 60% of Japanese oil. 40% of South Korean trade. Singapore's entire economy. Malaysia's primary shipping route. Indonesia's economic artery. Alternative routes add 2,000 miles. 10 days extra transit. Fuel costs triple. Container capacity insufficient. No shipping company prepared for Malacca closure. No economy structured for that disruption. One strait. 8 nations dependent. Global system vulnerable. Would you believe one waterway could collapse modern trade? Red Sea Doctrine compares choke point scenarios worldwide. Hour 1. Singapore government convenes crisis cabinet. Prime Minister contacts Beijing directly. Requests clarification, urges restraint. Beijing responds coolly. Military exercises sovereign right. International law permits naval training. Duration depends on training objectives. No timeline provided. Translation. Strait stays closed until political demands met. Singapore faces catastrophe. Port handles 42 million containers annually. Second busiest port globally. Entire economy depends on shipping. Closure means immediate recession. Port workers unemployed. Logistics companies bankrupt. Financial sector exposed. But Singapore cannot challenge China militarily. Cannot compel strait reopening. Must negotiate, must compromise, or must suffer. Small nation, big choke point, no leverage. Japan faces different crisis. Energy security, 90% of oil imported, 65% transits Malacca. Strategic petroleum reserve lasts 90 days. After that, refineries shut down. Power generation stops. Transportation halts. Economy freezes. Alternative routes through Sunda Strait or Lombok Strait add 10 days. Tanker fleet insufficient. Cannot reroute fast enough. Cannot maintain supply. Cannot prevent shortages. Tokyo contacts Washington. Requests immediate U.S. Navy intervention. Invokes mutual defense treaty. but treaty covers armed attack, not military exercises, legal ambiguity, political complexity, strategic paralysis. South Korea equally desperate, manufacturing economy, just-in-time supply chains, components from Southeast Asia, markets in Middle East and Europe. Everything flows through Malacca. Hyundai factories begin shutdowns. Samsung reduces production. LG suspends operations. Economic damage accumulates hourly. Seoul joins Tokyo in demanding action. Both pressure Washington. Both activate defense treaties. Both expect American naval power to solve problem. But U.S. faces calculated dilemma. Who controls the Malacca Strait during Chinese military exercises? A. China through force. B. ASEAN through diplomacy. C. U.S. through intervention. Comment your answer. Hour 6. USS Ronald Reagan Carrier Strike Group receives deployment orders. Current position, Philippine Sea. Destination, Malacca Strait approaches. Transit time, 48 hours. Orders, assert freedom of navigation. Challenge exercise zone. Escort civilian shipping. Mission risks, obvious. Chinese People's Liberation Army Navy deployed 3 Type 055 destroyers, 2 Type 052D destroyers, 4 Type 054A frigates, 1 Type 075 amphibious assault ship, 2 Type 093 submarines, maritime patrol aircraft overhead, land-based anti-ship missiles in range. This is not symbolic deployment. This is genuine military presence. U.S. intervention means potential combat. Carrier group includes 2 Ticonderoga cruisers, 4 Arleigh Burke destroyers, 1 Virginia-class submarine, 75 aircraft. Overwhelming firepower, but geography favors China. Malacca Strait shallow, narrow, complex. Carrier vulnerability high, submarine threat severe. Land-based missiles cover entire area. U.S. technological advantage diminished. Chinese numerical superiority matters. This is scenario Pentagon war-gamed. Outcome, heavy casualties. Strategic defeat possible. But credibility demands response. Allies expect protection. Treaties require action. Backing down means alliance collapse. Red Sea Doctrine analyzes impossible choices. Hour 12. Diplomatic offensive begins. United Nations Security Council convenes emergency session. ASEAN demands immediate reopening. European Union condemns closure. India expresses concern. Australia proposes multilateral patrols. Russia remains neutral. China vetoes all resolutions. Beijing position clear. Internal matter. Sovereign waters nearby. Military exercises routine. International criticism rejected, but international law ambiguous. Malacca Strait includes territorial waters. Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia share sovereignty, but international shipping lanes established. Freedom of navigation guaranteed. Does military exercise override passage rights? Legal experts disagree. Precedent unclear. Enforcement impossible without force. China exploits gray zone. Not quite blockade, not quite legal, just effective. Hour 18. Economic cascade accelerates. Japanese refineries activate rationing plans. Gasoline prices spike. Public panic buying begins. Convenience stores emptied. Transportation sector protests. Airlines cancel flights. Shipping companies demand government intervention. But Tokyo powerless without U.S. support. South Korean manufacturing shutdown spreads. Unemployment surges. Export orders canceled. European and American buyers source elsewhere. Permanent market share lost. Economic damage exceeding 10 billion daily. National emergency declared. Singapore banking sector wobbles. Port revenues collapse. Tourism evaporates. Foreign investment flees. Currency drops 20%. Sovereign debt rating downgraded. Financial contagion spreads. Malaysia and Indonesia also suffer, but Singapore faces existential crisis. Economic model depends on shipping. No shipping means no economy. No economy means no Singapore. But what intelligence revealed about Chinese plans shocked U.S. Pacific Command. Hour 24, satellite imagery analyzed. Chinese naval formation not conducting exercises. Ships positioned strategically. Destroyers blocking key passages. Submarines patrolling approaches. This is de facto blockade, disguised as training. But Beijing also deployed merchant vessels. 70 Chinese-flagged cargo ships anchor in strait, distributed across shipping lanes. Human shields. U.S. Navy cannot clear passage without risking civilian casualties, cannot use force without escalating to war, cannot ignore without abandoning allies. Perfect strategic trap. Furthermore, signals intelligence reveals coordination with Iran. Revolutionary Guard Navy announced simultaneous exercises in Strait of Hormuz. Not closing strait, just disrupting traffic, creating delays, raising insurance costs. Coordination obvious. 2 choke points, 2 exercises, 1 strategy. China and Iran pressure points globally. U.S. Navy cannot be everywhere. Resources finite, allies numerous, adversaries coordinated. This is multi-theater strategic competition. Day 2. USS Ronald Reagan enters Malacca approaches. Chinese destroyers shadow immediately. Weapons systems active, fire control radars tracking. Aircraft launch from both carriers. Chinese J-15 fighters. American F/A-18 Super Hornets. Close encounters. Dangerous maneuvers. Verbal warnings exchanged. No shots fired. Yet, tension extreme. One mistake. One miscalculation, one nervous operator, then shooting starts, then regional war begins, then global economy collapses completely. Reagan commander requests clarification of rules of engagement. Washington provides ambiguous guidance, protect shipping, avoid escalation, assert rights, don't start war, impossible instructions, contradictory objectives. Political leadership wants results without risks. Military faces tactical reality without political clarity. Is this the start of wider naval war or new normal of choke point coercion? Comment Y or N. Day 3. First test case. Singaporean container ship requests escort through exercise zone. U.S. Navy agrees. Reagan launches helicopters. Destroyers take formation. Merchant vessel proceeds towards strait. Chinese warships intercept. Verbal warnings issued, turn back. Exercise zone closed. U.S. destroyer responds. International waters. Freedom of navigation. Innocent passage. Proceed. Chinese destroyer moves to blocking position. Weapons trained. Fire control radar active. Distance closes. Collision imminent. U.S. destroyer forced to stop. Merchant vessel turns back. Mission fails. Credibility damaged. Beijing proves point. U.S. Navy cannot enforce freedom of navigation against determined opposition. Not without shooting, not without war. Washington faces humiliation. Singapore faces abandonment. Japan and South Korea reconsider alliance value. If America cannot keep Malacca open, what good are treaties? China achieves strategic objective without firing shot. Demonstrates U.S. limits, proves regional dominance, establishes new rules. Shipping routes change, economics reorganize, power shifts. Day 5. Negotiations begin secretly. U.S. offers compromise. China presents demands. Taiwan reunification timeline. U.S. base closures in region. Reduced naval presence, arms sales suspension. Technology transfer restrictions, trade concessions, long list, comprehensive revision of regional order. Washington cannot accept. Beijing will not compromise. Stalemate continues. Strait remains closed. Day 7. Economic damage, catastrophic. Japan burning strategic reserves. South Korea factories idle. Singapore recession deepens. Global supply chains shattered. Christmas shopping season threatened. Auto production halted. Electronics manufacturing stopped. Pharmaceutical supplies delayed. Everything depends on Malacca. Everything stopped. Alternative routing through Sunda and Lombok Straits begins, but capacity insufficient. Only 30% of traffic accommodated. Delays expand, costs explode, insurance premiums unsustainable. Some shipping companies declare bankruptcy, others suspend Asia routes entirely. Permanent restructuring begins. What breaks next? Trade architecture, alliance systems, or strategic assumptions about choke point control? Day 10. Beijing announces exercise extension. Another week, minimum, maybe longer. Depends on conditions. Translation: depends on concessions. Pressure increases. Allies panic. Markets crash. Politicians desperate. Washington faces impossible choice. Escalate to force. Accept Chinese terms, or watch alliance system collapse. Meanwhile, Red Sea situation deteriorates simultaneously. Houthi attacks intensify. Iranian harassment increases. Suez risks spike. Multiple choke points threatened. U.S. Navy stretched beyond capacity. Cannot secure all passages. Cannot protect all shipping. Cannot maintain global presence. Unipolar moment ending. Regional powers assert control. Choke points become weapons. This is new maritime reality. Red Sea Doctrine final analysis. China proved strategic concept. Control choke points, control trade, control trade, control allies, control regions. Malacca closure demonstrated system fragility. 25% of shipping through one strait. Entire economic model vulnerable. Alternative routes insufficient. Naval power inadequate against political will. $30 billion carrier group cannot force passage without war. War costs exceed shipping value, therefore closure succeeds. Strategic lesson learned globally. Iran watches, Russia watches. Any nation near choke point gains leverage. Bab el-Mandeb. Hormuz, Malacca, Suez, Gibraltar, Panama, Bosphorus. Every strait now potential weapon. Every passage now negotiable. Every transit now conditional. This is future of maritime trade, not free seas. Contested passages, economic warfare through geographic control, and naval power cannot guarantee access when adversaries willing to risk conflict. Will global trade reorganize around choke point vulnerabilities? Can naval powers protect shipping in multi-theater coercion scenarios? Which strait closes next in new era of maritime leverage? Subscribe to Red Sea Doctrine, where sea power decides everything. Because Malacca today, Hormuz tomorrow. Your economy depends on passages you cannot protect, and rivals know it. Trade routes, missiles, and war. Red Sea Doctrine.